getting out there and just thriving in that environment and seeing all the kids and knowing that you're the guy that they want to grow up and be is something special. And it's something that I'm not sure you're ever going to get unless you come play for the Flying Bison.
All right, welcome back. We have the player spotlight for your Abilene Flying Bison. It's no longer the October player spotlight. We keep things going here in the month of November and beyond. And why not have one of our favorites? We've had a lot of fan favorites so far, but people have been asking for this one. It's none other than some people know him by Bubba. It is first baseman, outfielder. It was once pitcher. It's Wyatt Fielding. Wyatt, how the heck are you?
Very good. How are you, James? It's good to be here. Glad that people want to be on the show. Not to be humble or anything, but glad to be here.
Well, I'd say this: you're a pretty big fan favorite with this team, and people enjoy seeing it play out there and then just engage with the fans. So obviously, someone that has been asked a lot about.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that they want me on here. Have me back.
So now we turn things over to kind of look at we're about 2 months removed from Bison baseball. What has Wyatt Fielding been up to these days?
Yeah, I'm out here at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia, Arkansas. So not exactly the booming town like Abilene. So there's not a ton to do out here besides baseball, and that's about it, honestly, baseball. So a lot of baseball, a lot of fall ball work, just the fundamentals, a lot of running, a lot of working out. So not exactly the same, fan environment we had out there in Abilene, but definitely getting the work in still. So it's good to be out here.
Now, what's that training and workload been like for you? I know we kind of rescheduled the call yesterday. You had emergency practice come up. You got to get that in. You got to make sure you guys are ready to get the fall going and get ready for spring.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So every day we've got 5 a.m. weights. Those aren't exactly my forte, but got to do what you got to do, get it in before class. So you got that, and you got class, obviously. And then luckily now, after our inter squads and Fall World Series are over with, we're kind of on a constrained time schedule here. So luckily we're on a little bit shorter schedule, and we just get 30 minutes to an hour of work in, and then we get out of there. So last night was a little bit of an exception. We had a little running to do, but it happens. So.
Now, you're telling me you weren't a 5 a.m. guy before? You weren't doing that here in Abilene at the first time?
No, Abilene's a little different. Abilene was a late night kind of working out thing after the games, wake up at noon kind of thing. So it's a little bit different out here.
It makes sense. We go back to this Abilene Flying Bison season. Obviously, didn't end how we wanted it to, but we moved forward. Now the big news, obviously, we're joining the Texas Collegiate League. Huge announcement, joining with 7 other great teams. And we still look back at what a season it was. And one of the things we'll look at, and we'll kind of ask you, just some of your favorite moments you had here in 2025.
Right. There was a lot of them. I was there the whole summer, and it was a blast. A lot of games, a lot of memories, a lot of guys that came through and came in and left. And I think one of my favorite moments, I'm not sure it was the organization's favorite moment, but when we played in the semifinals, we played Sherman, and after we gave up a home run, they bat flipped a little bit, and Kyron LeBlanc, another fan favorite, I'm sure he'll be on here soon. He took it upon himself to bat flip somebody else's home run that we hit. The bat ended up going over our dugout and hit into the stands, but something I'd never seen before, and it was definitely one of my favorite moments right there. Either that or being in the hotel rooms with the guys at night after those late games, playing Wii golf or whatever it was. Some great memories.
There's a lot of different bonding activities we had, whether it was on the field or whether it was just, like you said, in the hotel rooms, traveling from place to place. There was a lot of brotherhood that got spent there. And a lot of the guys that we've talked to, guys like Mayo, that have described just that camaraderie that the road trips really have these guys coming together. Now, we look at, obviously, the playing. You guys did phenomenal throughout the year. Your stats were really impressive, and I think fans noticed that. For you, what was that fan engagement like being here in Abilene?
Right. Coming from a junior college, it wasn't something that I was exactly prepared for. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. And when I heard that, first game last year, it was 1,500 fans or whatever it was going to be, 1,200 fans. It was a little bit nerve-wracking playing in front of that many people before. Wasn't exactly your Midwest City, Oklahoma crowd that I've been used to the past 2 years, but getting out there and just thriving in that environment and seeing all the kids and knowing that you're the guy that they want to grow up and be is something special, and it's something that I'm not sure you're ever going to get unless you come play for the Flying Bison.
Now, you mentioned a lot of that big crowd atmosphere, and this is only the second year going into year 3 with the Flying Bison. What's a huge takeaway that you got personally from being with the Flying Bison that maybe would appeal to someone that's looking to come in next year that maybe they just don't know about the Bison just yet?
Right. It's more than a summer league. It's more than just practicing. It's more than a game. You'll see a lot of these fans come in, and it's obviously they had the Prairie Dogs before the Flying Bison, and it really rejuvenated the community, I feel like. Obviously, you have Abilene Christian out there in Abilene, but besides that, there's not a whole lot of baseball going on during the summertime, and it felt like it gave a new life to the community. And those kids out there in the summertime who were just baking in the heat with nothing else to do, it really was special. It was nice to see those guys come out there and support, and all the fans. I mean, it was unreal. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a truly once-in-a-lifetime experience for people who hadn't experienced that before. The fans really did show out from time to time, especially during the playoffs, and that's kind of where it brings our next question to when we get to playoffs. There was Sherman, there was Joplin. The fans were all out there. Something you talked about, you haven't gotten a chance to see kind of that environment, but just take us through your playoff atmosphere and how you were able to kind of embrace all that.
Right. Obviously, when you play 50-something games over the summer, they can get a little bit repetitive. And it felt like the playoffs came at the perfect time. I mean, it was right at the end of the summer there. Everyone was kind of winding down, and right when those playoffs hit, it was like it was a new breath. It really was. That first game, and I can't recall who we played now, but I mean, it was the locker room was completely different vibe. It was like everyone felt like we had just got there. It was a new year. It was a fresh start per se. And in that first game against Sherman, when we ended up winning in that late game right there, it was unbelievable. It felt like nothing I'd ever played in before.
Yeah, that's something to definitely look at. Obviously, everything that ended up happening with that, the fans were there. It was a great thing to experience. Now, we talked about big spotlight moments, October moments. Now we move to like November side of the playoff baseball. This wasn't a big playoff moment for you, but it was a game that we looked at, and we take it back all the way in the early part of the season. Seemed like it just flew by. But June 5th, we were in Texarkana. You went 4 for 5 with 3 doubles, 4 ribbies, a run scored, and a stolen base. I'll ask this one first. Do you remember that game off the top of your head?
I do. I remember that. Yes, sir.
What do you remember most about that game, and what was feeling different than any other game you ended up having?
I remember the sun was absolutely terrible that game. Sun set right behind the scoreboard in left field, and it wasn't ideal hitting conditions, but we got to make it work, right? So that was early on in the year, and we had, I believe we had Davis there at the time, and I ended up talking to him before the game, and obviously he had a great year. I took some things from his approach before the game, and obviously it worked out, and it worked out great throughout the season. So I'll give a little props to him there on that one. But I do remember I had a family friend in town. My parents couldn't make it, but a family friend from Texarkana was there, and I put on a show for her, obviously. So I guess that was the contributing factors to that one.
Okay, we got to contribute it to family friends. We can't beat that.
Right.
Overall, your season numbers, batting over 300, you had 54 hits, 47 ribbies, 17 stolen bases for a guy who, in mid part of the season, you and I talked and said, I hate running. Let's take stolen bases away. I don't want to do it, but you stole 17 bags, and then you had a batting average over 500 with the bases loaded. How about that for a fun stat? A guy who came in and produced when it mattered.
Right. I've said this before. That whole season, you couldn't do it without the guys in front of me. And obviously, hitting 500 with the bases loaded is not possible without the guys in front of you getting on. So it was special. Everyone in the lineup, 1 through 9, could hit, and it felt like every time I got up there were guys that were just ready for me to knock them in. And a big contributing factor to that was not only Dyson working with us hitting, but just the guys in general working themselves hard. Everyone wanted to get better. That's why I say it's not just summer ball, not just playing to practice. Everyone was there to get better, and we were all helping each other, and it was great. It was awesome.
Getting better was the name of the game as far as where it was the approach to play, whether it was on the field or finding new opportunities. You got to find yourself in a new home, now playing Southern Arkansas University. Really cool opportunity for you to continue that growth to move up. I do want to backtrack a little bit here because we talked about your big game, and I was told this is the question we need to ask you, Wyatt. And we talked about your hitting, we talked about your fielding. I know, I think you know where I'm going. We're talking about the pitching side of it. Now, I will backtrack a little bit more here. You were brought in to pitch a little bit more, and give us a little bit more context there, because you brought in to pitch a little bit more. It didn't happen. We didn't see it till the end of the year, that final regular season game against Sherman, I think. And you had the one inning. You closed out the game. You were throwing about mid-90s. I think you topped out about 95, 96. And I'm like, why have we not been using Wyatt at this position? And then there was a ball that you threw that I think almost hit Dyson or somebody in that dugout. And I think I broadcasted and said that may be the worst pitch I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And just go ahead and take us through, go back and take us how you didn't end up pitching, but then end up getting that appearance at the end.
Right. So let me preface this. I didn't start pitching until my sophomore year of college. I guess so last year. I was kind of sick. I was at first base and I was tired of the guys walking everybody. And I don't want to, talk down anybody, but I was like, just let them hit it. So I ended up starting to pitch, and I had a pretty good year. And after my season was over, I posted sub-2 ERA, and I told Dyson, I said, look, I can pitch if you need me. It's not something I'm dying to do, but I said, if you guys want me to pitch, I'll do it. So they brought me in as a two-way or a pitcher and a hitter. And throughout the season, I guess they kind of forgot about me, and that was all right with me. I was hitting just fine. I wasn't worried about playing time at that point. At the end of the year, I was talking to Mo, and I said, why not? I said, I'll go out there and throw it. I was playing right field that game, and my arm was warmed up, and he was like, all right. So I talked to the guy, Kahuna, who was supposed to come in, and props to him letting me come in, take his inning. Sorry. But he was all smiles about it. Love that guy. He let me come in, and I had a pretty good outing. So after that, I'm still pitching here. Through bullpen today was pretty good, actually. So still two-weighing here. I'm not sure how it's going to work out in the future, but it was a good time. That bad pitch, I'll preface this by saying a little old school baseball right there. My last at bat, while I was pitching, they hit me up and in with a fastball. And I couldn't hit him first pitch because I would have gotten thrown out, and I wanted to actually have a good outing. So I kind of took that and just showed him that I could if I wanted to. So threw it about 20 foot behind him, made it look like an accident, and went on with my outing. So,
it was like a Bull Durham scene. I mean, that was, you went to hit the bull, and he's like, this guy's crazy. What is he doing? First off, he had 2 strikes on the guy too, for whatever reason. It was like, there's no way he's trying to hit me. And then he throws one that almost hits D-Flow in the dugout or something like that. But yeah, still found a great way to make the most out of it. And now still two-way pitcher, hitter, making it work out. And so now it's looking at kind of, what are we expecting to see this coming spring here at Southern Arkansas for you?
Right. So I've actually gotten moved to third base here at Southern Arkansas. So now I'm first base and third base, just kind of working them both right now. Probably going to start at third base, probably third base right now. And then if need be, I'll probably pitch a little bit. I'm not sure where I fall right now in the standings here, just because when you're playing third, it's kind of hard to come out of the game and go to pitch. But for now, it's third base and first base, and then again, if need be, pitching. So I'm excited. It'll be fun. It'll be cool to see in the spring how it works out.
We'll be following along the whole way. That's going to be the best part about it. Now, I think the fans do want to know this as well. Your dad was very active on social media, and he made it very aware that neighboring bison were nearby. We need an update. How are the bison doing? Well, they're
hanging out. They're all back there. Yeah, eeny, meeny, miny. They're all back there. All 3 of them. They're hanging out. My dad's trying to feed them through the fence. He's getting pretty close these days. They used to be pretty skittish, but they run the fence with our dogs, and it's pretty cool. Just to know that some native bison are out there supporting me as well as the fans are. So
yeah, well, you'll always have our support, and the bison will have the same towards you, and especially those real bison that we need to get at some point. We need to get more pictures. I know your dad's going to be posting videos and pictures.
I'm sure he will.
Closer to the season.
I'm sure he will. So you can count on it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. It is the Wyatt Fielding. I just noticed at the very bottom. It is the. I mean, that is well represented. That's the best way you could describe it. Wyatt, we appreciate it. We'll be following along. Southern Arkansas University baseball will be following on social media. Obviously, we'll see some posts with pitching, fielding, hitting, you name it. It is Wyatt Fielding. We appreciate the time and best of luck in the spring.
Of course. Thank you, guys.